We're in Moon, Wisconsin, which is south of Mosinee. So we do have a sign here, and the town was named after a man named Moon, and most of the bikers moon the moon. We see this a lot. My grandpa owned, it was always known as Zells Corners here. It was the farm, the tavern, a grocery store, and a sawmill. And today, the only thing that's left is the farm. The barn was built in 1907, and that's still there. That's the original. There's 12 in the family. I'm in the middle, and I was the only one interested in farming. And I mean, I loved it, and I still love it today. Nobody liked the cows except Jim, so. And they hated to work on the farm, you know, because it was, you know, you never had off. I never dreamed that this 160 acres would be all grass one day. If you would have told me that, I would have told you were crazy. I've been grazing since 1995. There were 4 of us original grazers in Marion County, and I think there's 3 of us left yet. I was very fortunate. I had a niece who loved farming also, and she got me into the grazing. So if it wouldn't have been that, I would have never been where I am today. The cows are so much tamer. Usually on a farm, a cow doesn't last much more than 2 to 3 years. And I do have an award for a cow that was 21 years old. And most of the cows, and I have her daughter yet, her daughter is 14 years old. So, I mean, the longevity of the grazing, the cows last much longer. Usually they're 8 to 10 years old before you have to get rid of them. And on these big farms, you know, 2 to 3 years they're gone. Outside environment, the exercise, how would you like to be locked up in your house for a week? You know, you want to get out. Those girls want to get out too. I call them my girls because that's what they are for me. So I'm very proud that, you know, I can tell everybody this is one of the first 4 grazers in Marion County. I have 40 milk cows and 50 young stocks. I have 90 head of cattle here. And I basically run it myself. I do it, you know, whenever I need some help. Usually a relative will stop in here. But I still chop all my own corn, and I cut and bale all my own hay. It's a little square bale. I will hire a guy to do some big square baling for me and some round baling. But otherwise, I do it all myself. See, my life came to a turmoil in 1988 because I fell off a ladder and I smashed my vertebrae. And at that time, they didn't know if I was going to be partially paralyzed, or if I'd ever walk again. And they told me my farming days were done. The doctors at the hospital said that if you didn't believe in the Lord, you ought to, because those bones were sharper than a knife, and why your spinal cord, it came down and it kind of bulged out and then it came back. He said, why it never got cut? He says, we have no clue. I went back to the doctor. I had to go every week, and I had this brace put on me. And if I had that brace on me, I could push those girls around. So he told me, you know, I wasn't supposed to be in the barn. And he says, have you been in the barn? I says, nope. He says, you're a doggone liar, he said. And I said, that's pretty strong words from a doctor. He says, Jim, he said, you need to clean up that brace. He says, it smells like cow manure to me. He said, you gave yourself away. I love the animals, and I love being my own boss, being out with the fresh air. If it's cold or, you know, hot, doesn't make no difference. I just could not see staying inside of a building all day long. It's not for me. I love the fall, the best time of the year. The colored trees, it's just gorgeous. And I love, you know, to plant the corn, to watch it grow, the hay, to cut it. I just love baling hay. I got my tractor with an umbrella. I call it the convertible. I got 2 other ones with cabs and that. But I love this outside. I rake all my hay. I bale. I love doing that, and I love chopping corn. The other reward is I always try to do a very good job with my cattle, and I've got numerous awards for quality milk. If you love your job, you can go forever and ever, you know, but you have to do that. And I talk to so many people that they hate their job, their supervisor, their boss. You know, they get fed up. And that's why I stay here. I've got no boss. Oh, I got a lot of bosses, but I can maneuver them around. You got to have a positive attitude, and you got to love your job. You got to love it, and I love it. When I'm going to retire, probably when I die.